If you read just one book this year, make it this one. Most people spend years making mistakes that could be completely avoided in just 10 minutes. In this video, we're unlocking the core lessons from Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Setting and premise. In the Kingdom of Navarre, dragon riders are the elite of the military, protecting the realm's borders through magical wards that only dragons can power. Navarre has been at war with the neighboring kingdom of Sorrengail for 400 years. At Basgiath War College, cadets are sorted into quadrants: healer, scribe, infantry, and the most dangerous of all, riders. Only volunteers are supposed to enter the Riders Quadrant, except for one group, the roughly 107 children of the leaders of a failed rebellion 6 years earlier, who were conscripted into it as punishment, each bearing a magical rebellion relic burned into their skin. The protagonist. Violet Sorrengail is 20 years old, physically frail with brittle bones and weak joints from a childhood illness, and has spent her life training to become a scribe like her late father. But her mother, General Lilith Sorrengail, commanding general of Basgiath and a woman who buried her own eldest son, Brennan, a rider killed in the rebellion, decrees that all her children must serve as riders. Violet has no choice but to comply. On conscription day, Violet's older sister Mira, herself a decorated rider, outfits her with concealed daggers and a corset secretly reinforced with dragon scales for protection, then warns her to avoid one cadet above all, Xaden Riorson, son of the great betrayer who led the rebellion and was executed by General Sorrengail. Mira warns that Xaden will want Violet dead in revenge. Crossing the parapet. To enter the Riders Quadrant, cadets must cross a narrow, windswept stone bridge hundreds of feet above a ravine, the parapet, a trial that kills roughly 15% of candidates every year. Violet survives by reciting facts to calm herself, trades boots with a taller cadet named Rhiannon to help her keep footing, and fends off a sadistic bully, Jack Barlow, who tries to kill candidates outright. She meets Xaden face to face on the tower and instantly feels a devastating, unwanted attraction to him despite their family's history. Through a twist of fate, Violet's squad is reassigned into Xaden's own wing, putting her directly under his command. Xaden appears to relish tormenting her, but strangely, he also intervenes to keep her alive at key moments, confusing Violet about his true intentions. Survival and growing bonds. Violet befriends fellow first-years Rhiannon, Riddick, and Sawyer, and reconnects with her childhood friend Dane Etos, now a second-year squad leader who is desperately overprotective of her and repeatedly urges her to abandon the Riders Quadrant for her own safety. Violet refuses, determined to prove she belongs. She survives brutal training, hand-to-hand combat challenges, where she uses secretly brewed poisons to level the playing field against stronger opponents, a nearly impossible obstacle course called the Gauntlet, and constant political and physical threats, including a coordinated assassination attempt by unbonded cadets in her own dorm room, foiled only when Xaden bursts in and kills the attackers himself, revealing he's been protecting her covertly all along. Threshing, bonding with dragons. At the climactic threshing ceremony, cadets enter a valley where dragons choose, or refuse, to bond with them. Unchosen cadets can die. Violet discovers a tiny, unusually young golden dragon, a rare feathertail, being hunted by Jack Barlow and his friends who consider it worthless. She defends the dragon at great personal risk. In the process, the most powerful and feared dragon in the Vale, an enormous black dragon named Tern, chooses her, an unprecedented honor, since black dragons almost never bond. Then the golden dragon, Andarna, also bonds to her, the first case in generations of a rider bonding two dragons simultaneously. It's soon revealed that Taryn is mated to Xaden's dragon, Scale, meaning Violet and Xaden's fates and physical proximity are now permanently entangled, since mated dragons cannot be separated for long without suffering. This forces the two into much closer contact, and their antagonism slowly gives way to real partnership, training, and unmistakable chemistry. Deepening relationship and secrets. Over the following months, Xaden personally trains Violet in combat and flying, even designing a custom saddle to help her stay mounted, given her physical limitations, and the tension between them explodes into a passionate, complicated romance. One Xaden repeatedly insists can't lead anywhere, warning her, "Don't fall for me," even as his actions contradict his words. Violet also learns Xaden bears responsibility for the loyalty of all 107 marked cadets, having struck a bargain that puts his own life on the line if any of them betray Navarre, visible in over 100 scars on his back. Meanwhile, Violet struggles for months to manifest her own signet power, a unique magical ability every rider eventually gains, fearing she's inadequate compared to her decorated siblings. During a visit to a border outpost with her squad, Violet reunites joyfully with Mira and learns unsettling hints that official battle reports withhold real information from cadets, foreshadowing bigger secrets. Violet's signet emerges, violently. During a training exercise, Jack Barlow, who has vowed since day one to kill Violet, is finally allowed to challenge her in a sanctioned duel. She survives by poisoning him with an allergen. Later, during the War Games final exam, Jack fatally wounds Violet's protector and friend Leah Mary mid-battle. In a surge of grief and rage, Violet's long-dormant signet finally manifests. She can wield lightning, striking down Jack with a devastating bolt. She's horrified by what she's capable of and the fact that she's now killed someone, but Xaden reassures her that her power will save countless lives. The truth about Venin and Wyvern. The story's biggest revelation comes near the end. During what's meant to be a War Games exercise, Violet's squad, deliberately composed entirely of marked, rebellion relic-bearing cadets, plus Violet and Liam, is sent to garrison a border outpost that turns out to be completely abandoned. They discover Xaden has secretly been meeting with Poromelan, Flyer, Griffin Rider, contacts, smuggling them weapons. The horrifying truth emerges. Venin, humans who have corrupted themselves by drawing magic directly from the earth instead of through a dragon or griffin bond, becoming nearly unkillable, soulless monsters, are real, not myth. They've created wyverns, twisted magical creatures, and have been devastating Poromeal for years. Navarre's ruling class has known this all along and deliberately hidden it, because Navarre's protective wards, powered by dragon magic, are the only thing that can stop Venin, and the kingdom's leaders would rather let their neighbors suffer than risk exposing the secret or diverting resources. Xaden and his fellow marked cadets have been risking execution to smuggle special venin-killing weapons, forged from a rare alloy, to Poromeal's resistance fighters. Violet is furious at having been kept in the dark for so long, especially once she realizes Dane, her oldest friend, secretly used his forbidden mind-reading signet on her without consent, extracting the truth and passing it to his father, a colonel, which is what led to the squad's outpost being deliberately emptied and set up as a death trap by the Crown to eliminate the marked cadets. The battle. With no army, hidden mission, and impossible odds, Xaden's small squad chooses to fight anyway rather than abandon the nearby trading town of Riorson to a horde of venin and wyvern attackers. The battle is brutal and costly. Violet's friend Liam is killed protecting her, along with another squad mate, Soleil. Violet discovers that killing a venin causes any wyvern that venin created to die too, allowing her to turn the tide using her lightning powers, including a moment where Andarna's gift lets her briefly stop time to land a killing blow. Violet is gravely wounded by a poisoned venin blade during the fighting. Ending. Rather than fly the poisoned, unconscious Violet 12 hours back to Basgiath, where she might die en route, Xaden takes her instead to a secret, hidden location, the supposedly destroyed city of Artia, capital of the rebellious province of Tyrandor. It turns out Artia was never actually burned to the ground as the official history claims. It's been secretly rebuilt and hidden from the crown's all-seeing General Melgren, whose signet lets him foresee battle outcomes, but which is blocked whenever 3 or more marked riders gather together. The real reason marked cadets are forbidden to assemble in groups. Violet wakes from her poisoning healed and demands answers. Xaden finally opens up fully, admitting his feelings for her and revealing the full scope of the hidden rebellion. In the novel's final twist, the door opens to reveal Violet's older brother, Brennan, believed dead for 5 years, killed, according to official record, fighting in the rebellion. He is very much alive, having faked his death years ago to continue the fight against the venin threat in secret. He greets his stunned sister with, "Welcome to the revolution, Violet." The book ends here, setting up the sequel, Iron Flame, to explore the rebellion, the venin threat, and Violet's fractured relationships with Dane and her family. If this summary saved you hours of reading and gave you real value, hit the subscribe button right now. Leave a comment below letting us know which book you want to see next. And if you want to keep growing your mind, click the video appearing on your screen right now. See you in the next 10 minutes.